Shalom, shalom. This will be Numbers chapter 11 through 15. Now, I know a lot of this has been what could seem mundane or not necessarily important, and some of it necessarily may not be the most important stuff. Will you and I ever get to build the temple and all of its utensils? Probably not. But at the same time, it's good to know that they did. So, with all that being said, at this point right now, switch your ears on. The stuff that's coming, we're not talking about the temple anymore. We're talking about real practical stuff. Stuff that happened. So yeah, without further ado, let us begin. Chapter 11. And it came to be, when the people were as complainers, it was evil in the ears of Yahweh. And Yahweh heard it, and his displeasure burned. And the fire of Yahweh burned among them, and consumed those in the outskirts of the camp. And the people cried out to Moshe, and Moshe prayed to Yahweh, and the fire died down. Then he called the name of the place Taberah, because of the fire of Yahweh had burned among them. And the mixed multitude who were in their midst lusted greatly. So the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who is giving us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we ate without cost in Mitzrayim, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlics, but now our being is dried up. There is naught to look at but this manna. Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance like the appearance of bdellium. The people went about it and gathered it, ground it on millstones, or beat it on the mortar, and cooked it in a pot, and made cakes of it. And its taste was as the taste of cakes baked with oil. And when the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna fell on it. And Moshe heard the people weeping throughout their clans, each man at the door of his tent. And the displeasure of Yahweh burned exceedingly, and in the eyes of Moshe it was evil. And Moshe said to Yahweh, Why have you done evil to your servant? And why have I not found favor in your eyes, to put the burden of all these people on me? Was it I who conceived all these people? Was it I who brought them forth? That you should say to me, Carry them in your bosom, as the foster father carries a nursing child, to the land which you swore to their fathers. Where am I to get meat to give to all these people? For they weep before me, saying, Give us meat to eat. I am unable to bear all these people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. And if you are doing this to me, kill me. Please kill me, if I have found favor in your eyes, and let not see my evil, and let me not see my evil. Then Yahweh said to Moshe, Gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of appointment, and let them stand there with you. And I shall come down and speak with you, and shall take of the Spirit that is on you, and put on them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you do not bear it yourself alone. And say to the people, Set yourselves apart for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat, because you have wept in the hearing of Yahweh, saying, Who is giving us meat to eat? For it is well with us in Mitzrayim. And Yahweh shall give you meat, and you shall eat. You are going to eat not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a new moon of days, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes an abomination to you, because you have rejected Yahweh, who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we come up out of Mitzrayim? And Moshe said, The people in whose midst I am are 600,000 men on foot, and you have said, I give them meat to eat for a new moon of days. Could flocks and herds be slain for them, to be sufficient for them? Or could all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to be sufficient for them? And Yahweh said to Moshe, Is the arm of Yahweh too short? Now see whether my words meet you or not. Mostly just treading on some thin ice, I feel like. And Moshe went out and spoke to the people the words of Yahweh. And he gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people and placed them around the tent. And Yahweh came down in the cloud and spoke to him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and placed the same upon the 70 elders. And it came to be, when the Spirit rested upon them, that they prophesied, but did not continue. However, 2 men had remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad, and the Spirit rested upon them. Now they are among those listed, but did not go out to the tent, and they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and informed Moshe, and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Yehoshua son of Nun, Moshe's assistant from his youth, answered and said, Moshe, my master, forbid them. Then Moshe said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Oh, that all people of Yahweh were prophets, that Yahweh would put his Spirit upon them. And Moshe returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Israel. And a wind went forth from Yahweh, and it brought quail from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. And the people were up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day, and gathered the quail. He who had least gathered 10 omers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. The meat was still between their teeth before it was chewed, and the wrath of Yahweh burned against the people, and Yahweh struck the people with an exceedingly great plague. Then he called the name of the place Kirbath Hata'awa, because there they buried the people who had lusted. For Kirbath Hata'awa, the people set forth for Hatzeroth, and they were at Hatzeroth. Now Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moshe because of the Cushite woman whom he had taken, for he had taken a Cushite woman. And they said, Has Yahweh spoken only through Moshe? Has he not also spoken through us? And Yahweh heard it. And the man Moshe was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. And suddenly Yahweh said to Moshe and Aaron and Miriam, You 3 come out to the tent of appointment. So the 3 came out. And Yahweh came down in the column of cloud, and stood in the door of the tent, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went forward. And he said, Hear now my words. If your prophet is of Yahuwah, I make myself known to him in a vision, and I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moshe. He is trustworthy in all my house. I speak with him mouth to mouth, and plainly, and not in riddles, and he sees the form of Yahweh. So why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moshe? And the displeasure of Yahweh burned against him, and he left. And the crowd turned away from above the tent, and look, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned toward Miriam, and look, a leper. And Aaron said to Moshe, Oh, my master, please do not hold against us the sin in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead when coming out of his mother's womb, with his flesh half consumed. And Moshe cried out to Yahweh, saying, O El, please hear her. Please heal her, please. And Yahweh said to Moshe, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after that let her be readmitted. And Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not set out until Miriam was readmitted. And afterward the people departed from Hatzeroth, and they camped in the wilderness of Paran. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. Send one man from each tribe to their fathers, of their fathers, each one a leader among them. And by the mouth of Yahweh Moshe sent them from the wilderness of Paran, all of the men who were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names from the tribes of Reuben: Shemua, Shammua son of Zakur from the tribe of Simon, Shaphat son of Hori from the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb son of Yephunneh from the tribe of Issachar, Yigal son of Joseph from the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea son of Nun from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti son of Raphu from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel son of Sodai from the tribe of Joseph from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadai son of Sui from the tribe of Dan, Amiel son of Gemali from the tribe of Asher, Setcher son of Mikael from the tribe of Naphtali, Laviv son of Wushif from the tribe of Gad, Geuel son of Maki. These are the names of the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land, and Moshe called Hoshea the son of Nun, Yehoshua. And Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, Go up here into the south, and go up to the mountains, and see what the land is like, and the people who dwell in it, whether strong or weak, whether few or many, whether the land they dwell in is good or evil, whether the cities they inhabit are in camps or strongholds, or whether the land is rich or poor, or whether they are forest or not. And you shall be strong and bring some of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the season of the first fruit of grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Sin as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. And they went up through the south and came to Hebron, and Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai. The descendants of Anak were there. The descendants of Anak were there. Now Hebron had been built 7 years before Soan in Mitzrayim, and they came to the Wadi Eshcol and cut down from there a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bore it between two of them on a pole, also of the pomegranates and of the figs. That place was called the Wadi Eshcol because of the cluster which the men of Israel cut down from there. And they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moshe and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh, and they brought back word to them and all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they reported to him and said, We went to the land where you sent us, and truly it flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. But the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are walled, very great. And we saw the descendants of Anak there too. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, while the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains. And the Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the banks of the Jordan. And Caleb silenced the people before Moshe and said, Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are certainly able to overcome it. But the men who had gone up with him said, We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they gave the children of Israel an evil report of the land which they had spied out, saying, The land through which we have gone as spies is the land eating up its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of great size. And we saw there the Nephilim, sons of Anak, of the Nephilim, and we were like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and so were we in their eyes. Talking about giants. There were giants there. There were giants in them there hills. Chapter 14. Then all the congregation lifted up their voices and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and against Aaron, and all the congregation said to them, If only we had died in the land of Mitzrayim, or if only we had died in this wilderness. And why is Yahweh bringing us to this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and children should become a prey? Would it not be better for us to turn back to Mitzrayim? And they said to each other, Let us appoint a leader, and let us turn back to Mitzrayim. Then Moshe and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Yehoshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Yephunneh who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their garments. And they spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, The land we passed through to spy out is an exceedingly good land. If Yahweh has delighted in us, then he shall bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which is flowing with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against Yahweh, nor fear the people of the land, for they are our bread. Their defense has turned away from them, and Yahweh is with us. Do not fear them. But all the congregation said to stone them with stones. Then the esteem of Yahweh appeared in the tent of appointment before all the children of Israel. And Yahweh said to Moshe, How long shall I be scorned by these people? And how long shall I not be trusted by them with all the signs which I have done in their midst? Let me strike them. Oh, too many. Let me strike them and disinherit them, and make many of you, and make of you a great. Goodness gracious! I'll flip the page back or reset. Let me strike them with the pestilence, and disinherit them, and make of you a nation greater and mightier than they. And Moshe said to Yahweh, Then the Mitzrites shall hear it. For by your power you brought these people up from their midst, and they shall say to the inhabitants of this land, They have heard that you, Yahuwah, are in the midst of these people, that you, Yahweh, are seen eye to eye, and that your cloud stands above them, and you go before them in a column of cloud by day and in a column of fire by night. Now, if you shall kill these people as one man, then the nations which have heard of your report shall speak, saying, Because Yahweh was not able to bring this people to the land which he swore to give them, therefore he slew them in the wilderness. And now, I pray, let the power of Yahweh be great, as you have spoken, saying, Yahweh is patient and of great loving commitment, forgiving crookedness and transgression, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers of the children of the third and fourth generation. Please forgive the crookedness of this people, according to the greatness of your loving commitment, as you have forgiven this people from Mitzrayim even until now. And Yahweh said, I shall forgive, according to your word. But truly, as I live, and all the earth is filled with the esteem of Yahweh, for none of these men who have seen my esteem, and the signs which I did in Mitzrayim and in the wilderness, have tried me now these 10 times, and have disobeyed my voice, shall see the land of which I swore to their fathers, nor any of those who scorn me see it. Nor any of those who scorn me see it. My servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit in him and has followed me completely, I shall bring into the land where he went. I shall bring into the land where he went, and his seed shall inherit it. Since the Amalekites and the Canaanites are dwelling in the valley, turn back tomorrow and set out in the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Aaron, saying, How long shall this evil congregation have this grumbling against me? I have heard the grumblings which the children of Israel are grumbling against me. Say to them, As I live, declares Yahuwah, as you have spoken in my hearing, so I do to you. The carcass of you who have grumbled against me are going to fall in this wilderness, all of you who were registered according to your entire number, from 20 years old and above, none of you except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Yehoshua, son of Nun, shall enter the land which I swore I would make you dwell in. But your little ones, whom you said you would become a prey, I shall bring in, and they shall know the land which you have rejected. But as for you, your carcasses are going to fall in this wilderness, and your sons shall be wanderers in the wilderness 40 years, and shall bear your whorings until your carcasses are consumed in the wilderness. According to the number of days in which you spied out the land, 40 days, a year for a year, a day for a year. You are to bear a day for a year, a day for a year. Yeah. You are to bear your crookedness 40 years. and you shall know my breaking off. I am Yahweh, I have spoken. I shall do this to all this evil congregation who are meeting against me in the wilderness. They are consumed, they and there they die. And the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation grumble against him by bringing an evil report of the land, even those men who brought the evil report about the land, died by the plague before Yahweh. Of those men who went to spy out the land, only Yehoshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh remained alive. And when Moshe spoke these words to all the children of Israel, the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning and went up to the top of the mountain, saying, See, we have indeed sinned, but we shall go up to the place which Yahweh has spoken of. But Moshe said, Why do you now transgress the mouth of Yahweh, since it does not prosper? Do not go up, lest you be smitten by your enemies, for Yahweh is not in your midst. Because the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you have turned away from Yahweh. Yahweh is not with you. But they presumed to go up to the mountaintop, but neither the ark of the covenant of Yahweh nor Moshe left the camp. So the Amalekites and the Canaanites who dwelt in the mountain came down and struck them and beat them down, even to Hormah. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have come into the land of your dwellings, which I am giving you, and you make an offering by fire to Yahweh, an ascending offering, or a slaughtering to accomplish a vow, or as a voluntary offering, or in your appointed times, to make a sweet fragrance to Yahweh from the herd of the flock, then he who brings his offering to Yahweh shall bring near a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. You prepare with the ascending offering or the slaughtering for each lamb. Or for a ram you prepare as a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil. And as a drink offering you bring 1/3 of a hin of wine as a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. And when you prepare a young bull as an ascending offering, or as a slaughtering to accomplish a vow, or as a peace offering to Yahweh, then shall be brought with the young bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour with half a hin of oil. And bring as the drink offering half a hin of wine as an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. This is what is done for each young bull, for each ram, or for each lamb or young goat, according to the matter that you prepare, so you do for each one according to their number. Let all who are native do so with them, in bringing near an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. And when a sojourner sojourns with you, or whoever is among you throughout your generations, and would make an offering made by fire, sweet fragrance to Yahweh, as you do, so he does. One law is for you of the assembly, and for the sojourner who sojourns with you, a law forever throughout your generations. As you are, so is the sojourner before Yahweh. One Torah and one right ruling is for you and for the sojourner who sojourns with you. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land which I bring you, then it shall be, when you eat of the bread of the land, that you present a contribution to Yahweh. Present a cake of the first of your dough as a contribution. As a contribution of the threshing floor you present it. Of the first of your dough you are to give to Yahweh contribution throughout your generations. And when you sin by mistake, and do not do all these commands which Yahweh has spoken to Moshe. Make sure I read that right. And when you sin by mistake, and do not do all these commands which Yahweh has spoken to Moshe, all that Yahweh has commanded you by the hand of Moshe from the day Yahweh gave command and onward throughout your generations, then it shall be, if it is done by mistake without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall prepare one young bull as an ascending offering, a sweet fragrance to Yahweh, with its grain offering and its drink offering, according to the right ruling, and one male goat as a sin offering. Then the priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it was by mistake. And they shall bring their offering, an offering made by fire to Yahweh, and their sin offering before Yahweh for their mistake. And it shall be given for the congregation of the children of Israel, and the sojourner who sojourns in the midst, because all the people did it by mistake. And if a being sins by mistake, then he shall bring a female goat a year old as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for the being who strays by mistake, when he sins by mistake before Yahweh, to make atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. For him who does whatever by mistake, there is one Torah, both for him who is native among the children of Israel, and for the sojourner who sojourns in their midst. But the being who does whatever defiantly, whether he is native or sojourner, he reviles Yahweh, and that being shall be cut off from among his people, because he has despised the word of Yahweh, and has broken his command, and has broken his command. That being shall certainly be cut off. His crookedness is upon him. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moshe and to Aaron and to all the congregation. And they put him in under guard, because it had not been declared what should be done to him. And Yahweh said to Moshe, the man shall certainly be put to death, all the congregation stoning him with stones outside the camp. And all the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him with stones, as Yahweh commanded Moshe, and he died. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them to make tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue cord in the tzitzit of the corner. And it shall be to you for a tzitzit, and you shall see it, and shall remember all the commands of Yahweh, and shall do them, and not search after your own heart or your own eyes, after which you were whoring, so that you remember and shall do my commands, and be set apart unto your Elohim. I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, to be your Elohim. I am Yahweh your Elohim. I love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. May you be blessed. Shalom, shalom.